We want to see our society change for the good, man. Show other people they're worthy of love. Show other people they're worthy of your time. Show other people that you are willing to love them, that God through you loves them. Good morning. I really need I really need to do my gratitude journal, like first thing this morning. I'm so tired. I had a long day yesterday, helping my neighbor with her yard work. Just like 5 hours out there with not really the right equipment, and just making it work and just pushing through. I mean, it was a really good workout. I just kicked my tail. I can't believe I'm saying that. Nothing used to bother me like that. The last couple of years of not being so active has had an impact, I guess, is one thing. Man, I need to start thinking of positive things instead of how difficult it was and how it didn't work out and how I was taken advantage of. But no, like, that lady needed help, and I helped her, and I needed that workout. I'm sure that's going to be really good for me as soon as my body recovers. No, it's going to be really helpful. So I was thinking about, I need to do my gratitude journal, because I got up and I was still focused on the past. Like, how my wife comes up all the time, I'm still focused on that part of my past. But you can't live in your past. You can't, even just yesterday, it's gone. It impacted you. It infected you. It affected you. Whatever it did, it's gone and over with, and you're not revisiting that in a physical sense, but your mind can revisit that. And it's something that, whatever you're not happy with, or you're trying to understand something, but it doesn't help. Especially if you revisit that because you're angry at something hurt your feelings, or someone did you wrong, or you're just kind of dwelling on the thing. But 9 times out of 10, spending time in the past, it's not gonna build you up. It's not gonna promote a positive future. It's not gonna promote positive mindset. It's just gonna still your present day. You're gonna not live your day because you're thinking about something that has already happened that you can't change. And it's easy to understand why we do that, like thinking about the past, but it's a horrible habit to be in. You're just always thinking about the past. Well, you just end up depressed. It's not a good place to be. And sometimes the future can be scary because the past has been painful. I heard this really kind of successful and positive guy talk yesterday. And I was listening to a podcast while I was doing the yard work, and I don't remember who this one was, but he was saying, essentially, the thing you're afraid of is the thing that you should do. Like, if you're afraid of something, you should especially make sure you do it. Oftentimes the things that we're the most afraid of, they have the greatest return for us. They have the greatest result. They take our lives to a whole new level. But it seems that most of the people, most of the time, run and hide from fear. Like, they might hope for a little bit and get something started, and then as soon as something difficult or unsure or scary comes up, well, they stop and they pivot and they look for something that's just simple and easy. Something that doesn't make them afraid, something that's not scary. They look for something that's certain. Embracing the day and going after that uncertainty of learning what's out there. And that was like one of the good messages about Star Trek last night is like, oh, we're going into the unknown and this can be really scary. But Captain Kirk, he's like, there's not really unknown. It's just what hasn't been discovered yet. It's like, in a way, it's like it's nothing really new. Kind of a different version of what we already know. So there's nothing to be scared of. I mean, what is it that we're scared of anyway? When differences or change or unexpected or unknown comes up, like, what is it that we're afraid of? Are we afraid of more pain? Are we afraid of damage to our bodies, our stuff? Are we afraid of loss, losing our stuff? We're afraid of not being accepted or being criticized or ridiculed for what we decide to do. All things seem pretty likely and pretty normal, but I don't know where we really get the foundation for that fear from. Because, I mean, every day there's something to be afraid of, and if you kind of go after that like head on, like you just do your thing anyway and see how it ends up. We have like thousands and thousands of days of experience to say that, well, that fear of pain, that fear of loss, that fear of rejection or whatever, well, vast majority of times those bad things never occurred. So there's not anything to be afraid of. I'm like, even if something comes up that's challenging, you get into something that it doesn't go your way, causes some stress, it requires some tough decisions, but that's fine, you know. We get to face those tough decisions, and then we get to trust ourselves. We get to realize we can trust ourselves. We can trust ourselves in the difficulty. We can trust ourselves to get through whatever the situation is. Don't have anything to be afraid of. Sorry, I'm looking off over there. I think my fox might be back there. Saw some birds that were going to land, and it's like from underneath the bush, something kind of jumped up to get the bird. I hope it's that fox. I would hate if that fox gets like, you know, caught by animal control and like, you know, euthanized or whatever. Your dreams come true when you face challenges and obstacles and keep on pushing through. Find a way through it. Finding a way through these obstacles, these opportunities. It makes us better people. It makes us satisfied and maybe fulfilled, maybe not quite to that point, but it's how we build confidence in ourselves. By facing that fear, by facing that unknown. Especially in the spiritual realm of things, like you feel God is telling you to do something. You're not really sure what it is, but God will ask you to do some really big, really unusual, crazy things. And you have to do so in faith. You have to believe that God is in control and has authority to make things work out for you, and that God is working things out for your good. Like God has your good in mind. And that's like one definition of faith. You know, trusting in what you can't see, trusting in a path, a journey that you don't really understand, that's not going the way that you expected it to go, but God is saying, this is it. You know, learn to depend on me. You know, faith has to be exercised and has to be built and developed, and it's not something that just happens. It's not something you just wake up and have one day, but faith is like confidence in God. Confidence in yourself, you have to face something and then overcome it, and then you have confidence in yourself. And like the same thing with following God. You hear God say something and you step out and you do it, and you're like, man, that was amazing. Well, you stepped out in faith, but now your faith has grown because you have additional confidence in God. You took that opportunity, and you were vulnerable enough and willing enough to do something. And in that doing, you learned that you could trust. And you learned confidence. Confidence in God. You're learning faith. Your faith is growing. So there was this other podcast I was listening to yesterday. They were talking about, especially in the self-help genre of books and speakers and stuff, that it is really where what people speak on and teach on and what they become experts in, like that's the thing they needed help with the most. Like there was a time in their life where they were not in a place they wanted to be, and the thing that they identified that was their challenge and their pain, and the thing that they needed to work on the most, well, they start working on it, and they realize that other people need help in that same area. So they start sharing their experiences, and write books and seminars, and they do all these things, but really it's from someone's difficulty, from their struggle, their life really comes alive, and it becomes their service to others. What a beautiful thing that is. On some level, sometimes you think, oh, well, they need help on that. They can't be a teacher in that, or they shouldn't be a teacher. But the same old adage that to learn something the most, you teach it. It's like in the teaching, it's when you become an expert. So kind of taking that frame and like putting that on our lives, on our challenge, on our thing we're afraid of, like should be encouraging. Like you don't know what's coming around the corner, but you have an urge, you have a faith that like God is pushing you to a new direction. God is pushing you to that new thing. God is pushing you to that, it's really old thing, but it's new to you because you had given up on it. But God is pushing you back towards that. Like that's the thing that is going to make you come alive. That's the thing that's going to give you the most fulfillment. So hopefully we can have the mindset of being excited about that struggle, about that difficulty, because that challenge is going to build confidence, our own self-confidence. Stepping out in faith and following God with doing that thing, that's going to give us confidence and build our faith in God. And facing that challenge, that difficulty, that unsureness, that the thing where, we don't know what the result's going to be. It's kind of unexpected, uncontrolled, but facing that and overcoming that and succeeding in that, like that's the thing that's going to give us life all the way around. And facing that challenge is the thing that it's going to build up other people, and that's going to be the thing that you're going to succeed in. Like that, you're going to become an expert in that, and you're going to see how other people need what you've just created, or they need to go through that pain to become the full person that they're meant to be, to really find and experience the person that God intended them to be, that thing, it can be our service. It can be our service to others. And then when you're serving others, man, you're loving others. You're loving others through your service. And that's where a person really finds fulfillment. And they realize, it's not all about me. It's about others. It's not about me, earning recognition, but giving recognition. It's not about me taking and receiving love. It's about me giving love. It's like love is one of the few things you can't run out of if you use it. The more you use it, the more you have. But the less you use it, the less you have. But if you engage yourself in serving other people, or you frame what you do as a service to other people, as something that benefits other people, like, that's what we were wired for. We were wired for helping other people. And so we give of ourselves. We're giving love, and our own love grows, and then it just overflows. It just naturally impacts everybody around us. And what a great society that would be to live in. A society where everybody is so fulfilled. They're so full of love, like for themselves, and it overflows. And that love is for other people. When people are just doing random kind things for each other, where people are actually around each other, like interacting. People put themselves out there to serve. It's like a whole new world where people give of themselves instead of just being so concerned about just taking. Maybe we pursue that today. Like, examine ourselves and go after that. What stories we would have. What impact we would make. Just going out and doing these beautiful, kind things. Just helping and loving each other. We want to see our society change for the good. And show other people they're worthy of love. Show other people they're worthy of your time. Show other people that you are willing to love them. That God through you loves them. Love is the thing that all people are looking for all the time. Maybe there are different forms of love. There's acceptance and encouragement. There's trust and belief. There's kindness and gentleness and forgiveness. There's grace. Overlooking a wrong. Serving other people, help them overcome their challenges. There's so many types of love. Let us go out and give away that form of love that we need the most. When we give it away, we'll have more than we can ever use. Remember, the more love you give away, the more love grows from within you. The more love swells up and overflows. Love is not something to be hoarded or hidden. The Bible says what you have freely received, you are to freely give that thing. That love is a free gift. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything, but when you give it away, man, it makes the biggest difference. Let us be a loving people. Let Christians really reflect Jesus and show love to people around us. Let us live the words that we preach.